Batman and Robin is, and always has been, objectively speaking, a bad movie. Its production design looks like a cross between a toy commercial and a porno. The acting is over the top, and it attempts to make every character, including the frickin' butler, heavy and dramatic except for the one whose name is the first word in the movie's title. However, over the years, there's been a particularly growing crowd that seems to enjoy the film, albeit mostly on an ironic level, which is still exponentially more appreciation than what it was receiving before. The film hasn't changed at all. It's still the bright-colored suckfest that it was before, so did something change about the actual comic book film community, especially the Batman community, to cause viewers to be more lenient towards it? Could it be that, by this point, it's far from the worst comic book movie ever made? Because when you look at the lineup that has been coming out since then, films like Green Lantern, Eternals, and especially this unnameable hunk of kitty litter, are undoubtedly far worse. At the very least, Batman and Robin is pleasing to the eye, not boring, and just not this. But it doesn't stop there. When you look at the assembly line of comic book movies and TV shows that have been coming out, I guarantee you anyone could find at least 10 movies that are far worse than Batman and Robin. That's probably part of what's causing this leniency. There's a particular crowd that Batman and Robin stung that I feel like may have healed since its initial release. Upon Batman and Robin's release, as well as that of its predecessor, Batman Forever, the biggest demand for Batman was a dark, heavy approach incited by Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. Tim Burton's approach with his two movies was in pursuit of this, but when the late Joel Schumacher took his approach, he wanted to retreat back to the campy Batman of the original Adam West show. This was so obviously a bad move that it's unbelievable the studio moved forward with it. It's like knowing that apples are in demand and trying to sell oranges instead. It took the opposite approach that people were looking for and shocked executives when people hated it and didn't go to see it. But what would happen to that same demand if the masses had too many apples all at once? After the bombing of Batman and Robin, the studio knew the direction they had to take needed to be darker. And Chris Nolan not only took a darker approach, but a more serious, grounded, dramatic approach as well that fans were looking for, followed by Zack Snyder's, I think, overly dark approach, and that being backed up by Matt Reeves' once again balanced approach. Apart from Snyder's Batman v Superman, none of these films were or currently are considered at all bad. If anything, Reeves' film made many people's top 10 lists last year, but people demanded a more dark approach on Batman, and lately, that's all they've been getting apart from the also highly appreciated Lego Batman movie, which I would argue is sillier than Schumacher's films. Not to say there isn't variety among all those films, but after people got the dark approach that they wanted, chances are a good chunk of people said, okay, I've had my share of apples, I'll try an orange now, and most likely looked back at Schumacher's approach and started to see some merit to it as well. Some of the action is exciting, there's a lot of color to the production design, and at times the over-the-top performances can be hilarious.
I'm afraid you'll have to die.
Apart from Schwarzenegger and whoever played Bane probably having a horrible time under all that makeup, as well as Clooney probably being embarrassed by this role.
Can you imagine if we had, like, ads on TV campaigning against other actors?
It'd just be shots of me in a rubber suit and a Batman outfit.
Okay, undoubtedly being embarrassed by this role. Everyone seems like they were having fun making this, and when you get past this whole Batman's not supposed to be fun, he's supposed to be brooding emotions, that fun can transcend among the audience. Now, am I saying we need more campy Batman? Am I saying the Reeves series should be canceled altogether for more Lego Batman films or something? Obviously not. There's still plenty of avenues that can be explored through a darker approach to the character. What I am saying, though, is that we have gotten and are continuing to get our fill of darker Batman, and perhaps the lack of darker Batman at the time was the biggest crime of Batman and Robin. Not its only crime, but the one people were giving it the most beef about. What with 2 films taking a darker approach at the time, and the rest being either the West series or, in Schumacher's case, a tribute to the West series. Now that that's no longer the case, the campy approach seems to be the rarity, which can make it stand out and be seen as at least somewhat enjoyable. Now, again, do I recommend the film as a good movie? No. But if you approach it as the sort of over-the-top comedy, parody, toy commercial, whatever, there can be some fun to be had. Even if you don't approach it that way, just know that that's why many people have chosen to shine their bat signal on this over-the-top goofball of a movie. BVS is way worse anyway.